What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. So I've put together a build that I'm going to be running in the Age of War Chapter 2. I feel like this build complements the way that I like to play, as well as I feel like this build really works well with the new combat changes that have come with the second chapter of Age of War. Jumping right into it, the first thing I'm going to do is go over the look. Now I have used the Thaumaturgy bench to make the look the way that I like it for this build. I try to have a different look for each armor setup or each build that I put together, and this is the look that I decided to use. So if you want to copy this look, what you're going to need is the gold earrings, the Defari skin chest piece, the Shemite gloves, the Lemurian royal sarong, and the Zamorian thief boots. If you want to copy my dye setup, you'll need a 5 white dye, 2 black dye. I have 3 here, but there's one spot that I think is already dyed black, so you probably only need 2, and then 5 green dye, and you'll be able to dye this the exact same way that I have it. The armor that I'm actually wearing is the Ranger set. Now this set is obtained through the journey steps. You cannot craft this particular armor until you've completed that journey. And the journey that you're looking for is the Dungeon Delver. You can see you need to complete all of the different dungeons in order to unlock this armor. The armors that I'm going to show you in this video have been crafted by a tier 4 shield right armorer, so they have the highest possible armor value that they can, as well as having the highest possible bonuses. Each piece of the Ranger armor is going to give you an additional 8% agility damage bonus and an additional 7 stamina. The total set is going to give you an additional 40% agility damage bonus and 35 additional stamina. Initially, I put the thick armor plating on the armor. However, I've switched to the master armor plating. And the reason why is the master armor plating used to hammer the durability. It doesn't do that anymore. So you're actually getting a little bit more armor by using the master armor plating. If you're going to put this on a thrall, you should use the bulk plating. I wouldn't use that for you personally because it does add a lot to your weight for each armor piece. The food that I'll be running with this is the Lasting Feast. That gives me an additional 45% carry capacity and quite a bit of healing when I use it. For the elixir, I'm going to be running the Elixir of Grace for an additional agility weapon damage of 15%. Jumping into the weapons that I'll be using right now, it is the Heart's Blood daggers. Now, these add bleed and gouging. Gouging is able to take effect against undead creatures, so you actually have a bleed effect against undead. However, these are just as strong, if not stronger, against living creatures because it applies both bleed and gouging. So it's like having a double stack of bleed on a living target. And I do recommend putting the master weapon fitting on there. That way you can get the health damage all the way up to 49% and the armor penetration to 31%. Now, in order to get the Heart's Blood, you are going to need skeleton keys, and you're going to need to open those chests around the exiled lands in order to find these in a skeleton key chest. The katana that I'm using is the Graceful Knight. Now this has 64 health damage and 14% armor pen. I recommend using the master weapon fitting on it as well to bring it up to 69 health damage and 26% armor pen. Now this is really easy to find. You can find this guy pretty early on in the dregs. You just need to fight the new spider boss that's been added to that dungeon. I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing. The channel has been growing really fast. It's absolutely awesome to have you. And if you haven't decided to subscribe yet, go ahead and join your fellow exiles by clicking that subscribe button. So you can see everything put together here on my person. I have 413 total armor, and it is lightweight armor. Let's jump into the attributes and I'll show you what I'm doing with this build. So we have 20 points spent in agility. That is a full bar of agility. For the perks that we're choosing, they're going to be Precision Strike with the 10% additional armor penetration while carrying a medium or lighter load. For the final perk in agility, we chose rolling thrust. After dodging, your next damaging attack has 25% increased penetration, and your next swing costs no stamina. With the changes to the stamina system, this has become very helpful for me to regen stamina while I'm actually attacking an enemy. We have a full 20 points spent in vitality. With the first pick choice of fast healer, you receive 50% increased healing from healing effects. The last perk that we chose was glutton for punishment. When you take damage, you regenerate the last instance of damage taken over 15 seconds. Moving down, I went 15 in grit, and this gives me the first perk in grit of endurance. Your stamina regenerates 25% faster. Now, I really like the third perk in agility, which is quick-footed. Jogging, sprinting, jumping, swimming, and climbing cost less stamina and are faster. In addition to that, I like the second perk in grit so that I'm regenerating my stamina 25% faster. This just allows me to move around the map quicker, and it actually works really well in combat. So if I'm not rolling, I can run or strafe more quickly. For the last 5 points, we're putting those into expertise, and that really is so that we increase our maximum weight capacity and we can carry more. It is nice to have tools lose durability half as quickly and hunger and thirst deplete 33% slower, but I really look at that as being a bonus to being able to carry more. Now you might ask why I'm not putting points in strength, and honestly the reason is that I don't feel like the perks that are in strength are as important as the perks that are coming from agility, vitality, and grit. It's very rare that when it matters, you're actually going to be able to pull off a combo after the Age of War Chapter 2. The only time you're going to be able to do that is against enemies that can stagger, and if you're staggering those enemies, it's not likely that they're very difficult to defeat in the first place, so I've almost forgotten that the strength perk exists. Now I know that limits me for the type of weapons that I can use, but if you wanted to run a one-handed weapon with a torch or a one-handed weapon with a shield, you could always pick a short sword to throw into the mix. Let's jump into the stats for this build real quick. You can see my health is at 700 and my stamina is at 220. If I go back and eat a lasting feast, you can see that my health goes up to 735 and my stamina goes up to 231. The armor is a 45% damage reduction, so it's not huge, but it is still good. And my carry weight is at 190. Now, if you want to see this build in action, I used it just the other day to clear the Warmaker Sanctuary, and I'll link that video in the description of this video as well as in the top right hand corner. Don't forget to whack the like button on your way out and let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this build? I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.